When people talk about extreme wealth,
Oh yay, a Marxist talking about wealth. I'm sure we'll have an intelligent conversation that doesn't revolve around you being pissed off that rich people have money that you don't.
they generally don't grasp the negative side effects that hoarded wealth has on the rest of society.
And I'm so excited to find out what those negative side effects are, and I hope you can put forth an argument that explains how those side effects are justification for an ideology that led to the deaths of over 100 million people. But first, let's have an intro. Hey everyone, and welcome back. So, I don't know how many of you guys have caught it, but I went on a stream with Jake and the Pagan to discuss socialism, and not 2 days after that stream, I came across this video that we're going to review. It's from a channel called Means TV, and one of the hosts, as you saw, is a Marxist roofer, which tells you all you need to know about his economics knowledge. But anyway, he's talking about why we should abolish wealth, so let's have a discussion.
40 million people in America today are food insecure, while the ultra-rich control more wealth than the GDP of many countries.
Doesn't mean the two events are linked, not to mention there are many solutions to food insecurities that, unlike your Marxist ideology, work.
For example, Jeff Bezos' personal fortune of $160 billion is equal to the gross domestic product of Kazakhstan, a nation of 14 million people.
Kazakhstan doesn't exist, you walnut. Oh, wait, he said Kazakhstan. My bad.
The median income in the United States is a little more than $50,000 a year. This means the average working person would have to work 20,000 years to accumulate $1 billion.
Yeah, that's nice, Ed, but you haven't explained why I should care.
This begs the question, how can a person justify hoarding such an extravagant amount of money while the average person struggles just to make ends meet?
Easy. They earned that money because they started a business, inherited a business, or work in a position for that business that is worth the money they make thanks to the market determining that their work is worth that amount of money. As far as the struggling to live part, if you're making $50K a year, which is around $4,160 a month, average rent about $1,400 a month, then you pay $110 for electric, $70 for water, $85 for gas. That leaves you with about $2,495 of disposable income for food, cable, and other things that you would like to have. In short, if you're making $50K a year and you're struggling, you need to learn how to budget money better. And for the record, I've admitted before and I'll admit again, I'm one of those people that needs to learn how to budget better, so I'm saying this from my own personal experience. However, one thing you'll never see me doing is blaming the rich for the problems I got myself into.
The answer, of course, is that there is no justification for it. And it speaks to the general immorality of a society that allows privileged individuals to enjoy untold luxury while children go hungry.
Okay, your channel is really bad at using the children going hungry argument so that people who argue against your ideology will seem like heartless jackasses, but that isn't gonna work here. Rich people earned their money, and they have a right to do with it as they please. They don't have any obligations to give money to the starving children.
Is there any way you could help us out?
Of course I could. But it's funnier to me if I don't. In about an hour, I'm gonna piss away 20 grand.
Now, there are plenty of rich folks who donate to charities to help these kids and help people in a variety of situations. But just because they have money and can live in luxury while some other people struggle doesn't mean that they're immoral. That's like saying you, who is definitely better off than a lot of people in the US due to the fact that you're a roofer, which makes a lot of money, is obligated to help everyone that is poorer than you are. Is that fair? No? Then why do you think the rich have to be held to a different standard?
Individual billionaires have the ability to end problems like hunger and homelessness if their money was managed democratically.
Impressive. Every word in that sentence was wrong.
Okay, first off, the money belongs to the person that earned it, not anyone else. Rich people's money will not end poverty on a global scale. Ending poverty is going to take way more work than just giving people money. There's an old saying, give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, and he'll eat for a lifetime. You can't solve it by just giving people money. You have to teach people how to survive and use their resources to survive in the long term. Otherwise, they'll just go back to being poor. Second, the key words that you seem to ignore in that sentence is their money. You do not have any right to distribute anyone's money democratically. That is communism. And it's not only failed every time it's been tried, it's a failure that's built on over 100 million graves. You're literally saying that the majority should be allowed to tell you what to do with your money just because you make a certain amount. And that's even more immoral in my opinion because you're taking that money by force, which there's another word for that I can't quite remember. Oh yeah, stealing!
Instead, they make paltry donations to their family foundations and lecture the working poor on pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps.
Oh my god, they want you to earn your way in life instead of getting handouts. What dictators?
The audacity of societies extremely wealthy to lecture us workers about our moral failings obscures the very basic fact that we produce enough food to feed everybody and have enough housing to provide everyone with a home. We just choose not to.
Because those things are not yours to take and just give away. Nothing in life is free, and those that grew and produced that food, those that bought the property for and built those houses, they all deserve compensation for the time and labor they put into those products. If you want to become rich and do things with your own money, I support you 100%. But you don't have the right to just give the poor food and housing by stealing money from people who earn their own wealth. Furthermore, those wealthy people you like to demonize are the reason we have an economy in the first place, and with a little hard work and dedication from those that are poor, they can rise up and earn all those things you claim we have enough of to just give away.
As someone who works a blue-collar job for a living, I'm already familiar with the struggle to make ends meet. The idea that a select few, who make as much money in seconds as I make in a year, deserve to continue to accumulate untold wealth is morally wrong and disgusting to me.
I freaking called it! You're just pissed off that you can't make the money that rich people make while working a blue-collar job. Here's a little economics lesson for you, bucko. The rich people that earn more than you have a hell of a lot more responsibility than you do putting roofs together. A lot of them are in a position where one wrong decision could put thousands of people out of work in an instant. They're also in charge of millions or billions of dollars in profits, and they all rest on his ability to make decisions. Having the livelihoods of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people, and the profits that are in the millions or billions resting on your ability to make decisions is worth a hell of a lot more than it is for you to put shingles on a roof. That's not to say that your job isn't important, because people need to have their roofs properly built. But to act like all labor has the exact same market value is straight up arrogant and stupid. You think that you have the moral high ground here, but you're advocating to take away the right of individual people to earn their own money and do with it as they please. And that to me is way more disgusting than rich people having money. Especially since there's really nothing disgusting about rich people having money to begin with.
But it's almost unquestioned in today's economic and political discourse.
Exactly as it should be. How much money people are allowed to have should never be up for debate by the government, nor should it be regulated by the government.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez recently referred to the existence of billionaires as policy failures, which is absolutely true.
Okay, first off, the fact that you're using Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as a source for economics shows your lack of cognitive abilities. Second, no, it's not absolutely true. You're suggesting that the government should prevent people from accumulating wealth, which is wrong on so many levels from economic to moral. And third, if you had to give AOC the Heimlich maneuver, do you think her eyes would pop completely out of her head?
On a more fundamental level, there's system failures. A failure of our capitalist economic system to do anything at all to ensure a basic standard of living is afforded to its most vulnerable and vital component, its workers.
To further your economics lesson, I would like to point out that the more economically free a country is, the greater the standard of living is for all the working class. Therefore, if you truly care about the workers and the poor, you should be advocating for less government intervention and more free market. It ain't the job of the government to ensure that everyone is taken care of, and if we're being honest here, that's not something the government should even stick their noses into to begin with, considering the list of times they've screwed up helping people is longer than the list of them successfully helping people.
On an even deeper level, billionaires and multimillionaires are moral failures.
Again, with the rich people are immoral. We get it. Rich people bad.
The moral failings of our society as a whole. Their existence speaks to a fundamentally backwards economy that allows the wealthy an ever-increasing decadence in luxury while at the same time degrading the basic standards of living for everyone else.
And now you're repeating yourself again. Like I said earlier, the existence of the wealthy is not a policy failure, it's respecting the private property rights of those that have money. Quit crying that they have more money than you if you're not willing to put forth the work it would take to earn that money yourself.
These are not impossible challenges for our society, but they do require us to acknowledge that an economic system that overwhelmingly favors the rich and that privatizes basic human needs is not, and never will be, the best system for working class people like you and me.
Well, I don't normally use a clip more than once, but
Impressive. Every word in that sentence was wrong.
the society that privatizes those things, aka a capitalist society, is quite literally the best society for everyone, rich or poor. A capitalist society provides the lowest cost of living, the lowest cost of goods, the lowest cost of everything, especially with less government interference. Look at the cost of living for a place like California, which has ridiculous and unconstitutional levels of government interference, and the highest cost of living, versus a place like Arkansas, which has much less government interference and the lowest cost of living. Plus, like I said earlier, nothing in life is free. People have to work to provide every single necessity to life, and all of them deserve to be compensated for their time and labor. Not to mention there are certain jobs that require a higher monetary incentive for their workers than you realize, and only the free market can provide those incentives.
We spend our lives chasing the carrot on a stick of the American dream, of maybe being rich ourselves someday. But it almost never happens.
It would happen a lot more if there was less government interference, but I can tell you're not all about facts and logic. Your ideology is more based on jealousy and feelings.
And even if it does, it leaves everyone else who is struggling worse off.
That quite literally does not happen. Ever.
It's time to build a new American dream, one where we don't leave anyone behind, where there are no millionaires or billionaires, where we're all able to have enough food and a roof over our heads at night.
I think we can both agree that we want life to be better for everyone. The difference is that you want to use the system that has failed every single time it's been tried, caused over 100 million deaths, and I want to use the system that allows the free market to thrive and makes life better for everyone that puts forth the basic work ethic that everyone should have. Not to mention my ideology actually works. The only people left behind will be the lazy and worthless that weren't going to contribute to society to begin with. Anyway, that is going to do it for this video. If you liked it, click that like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe because people like PewDiePie have 90 million subs, and those subs should be distributed to the poor channels like mine with only 280 subs so that everyone has an equal amount of subscribers. You can follow me on Twitter at hey_dude77. Facebook and Bitchute links are in the description. And until next time, catch y'all later.